Hello, welcome to the Azure Kubernetes Deployment Series Part 9. In this series, we are going to learn how to deploy microservice-based applications into AKS cluster using customization for multiple environments. In the last lab, we have already discussed how to deploy microservices into multiple environments using Helm chart. In that lab, we discussed how we can use different values.yaml config files for each of the environments to customize uh, the microservice deployment for different environments. In this lab, we are going to learn how to use kustomize to deploy the applications into multiple environments. So for that, let's first deploy the infrastructure. I have already created the infrastructure because it takes some time. So I have used this script here, and using this running this script, I have already created the SCR and Kubernetes. You can see here my uh, Azure Content Registry and AKS clusters are already created. If you go to this and check the repository, oh, I don't have anything here now. And now also I have to connect to the AKS cluster. So for that, I have I should use this. I'll use these commands. So this is AKS get credential to connect to the AKS cluster. Then I'll use an alias that is for kubectl to represent as K. Then I'll create multiple namespaces as for my environment to deploy different services to the uh, different namespaces as environment. Usually, we used to use different subscriptions or resource groups to segregate the environments, to isolate the environments. But in my case, I'm just using the same cluster and same resource group, but with different namespaces to just to save cost. Yes. So here I have created multiple, different namespaces, dev, test, prod, uh, to deploy the microservices. Okay, I have already connected to this cluster, and if I'll just type get node, then okay, I have to run this again. Just let me run this. It will take some time. So after that, once we connect to the AKS cluster, we need to log into the Azure Content Registry and we need to push the Docker images to the ACR. So for that, the Docker, we need to follow these commands, the Docker build and Docker tag that I have already done for those these three images because it takes some time. So for that, I have already done. Only I need to push into the Azure Content Registry. Okay, so if we come now, we can see here. Uh, yeah, we are able to. Now I'll just type the command get node. Yeah, so I'm able to get the node. So that means the resources we are able to connect to the AKS cluster. Okay, now let me just connect to the SCR as well. Then we'll try to push those Docker images to the SCR. For that, let me find out whether the Docker images and the tags are available or not. For that, I'll just write Docker images. You can see these Docker images are available. You can see here. Yeah, so you can see here. Okay, order. You can see here order, and we have also product. Yeah, product, and I have also the storefront. Okay, so all are available here, and now we need to to push that. It is already tagged, so I can use this command to push into the Azure Content Registry. Let it push to the Azure Content Registry. Then I'll use this command for pushing the prod image. You can see if we go to this and we'll refresh it. Still, it is not available. It is taking some time. My system is a bit slow, that's why it's taking time here. Okay, that is done. Now let me post the prod image to the product image to the Azure Content Registry. After pushing this, then we need to discuss about how to install the kustomize. So kustomize, usually it is available if you are deploying the, if you have the kubectl tool already deployed with version greater than 1.14, so it will be bundled with that, so no need to install. But if you want to independently install that, then you can run those commands. Okay, let me again run the deploy the storefront image. Okay, let it be uh, proceed. So yeah, so then we will discuss about the directory structure for the customize. If we are using customize, then the directory we need to restructure our manifest file directory structure here. So here if we see, now let me just check whether our, yeah, we can see here the images are now available in the ACR. Okay, now here we are discussing about the directory structure. So when we are going to use customize, in that case we need to change or restructure our manifest mm, uh, folder here. So in this case, if you see under my manifest, okay, here I have uh, this config, order, product, rabbit, message queue, and storefront. So these are my manifest available. Okay, so in order to make it customized for the specific, for the environment, I mean, if you want to change environment specific deployment, if you want to do environment specific deployment, then in that case, what we have to do is, for example, take consider here order. In that case, we have to use the base folder, and there is another overlays folder. So base folder is, it will keep the YAML, I mean the manifest files, okay, and the overlays folder, it will store all these the environment specific deployment manifest files. Okay, so what we are going to change for that specific environment, we need to update here. Okay, so you can see here in base deployment, this is our base deployment YAML for the order service, and this is the service manifest. Okay, and we have to also declare a customization YAML file where we have to mention what manifest files we are using for those that particular service, that we have to mention here. You can see here deployment and service, two manifest files are available, and that we need to mention here in our best customization folder. Okay, and under the overlays also we need to, if anything you want to change, for example deployment YAML or the service YAML, if you want to change that, we need to mention in the overlays folder for that particular environment with a patch YAML file. For example, here what I'm doing here, I'm creating one patch file, so no need to, you can see here, I have that it is a big deployment file, but here I have mentioned only this part. So we can specify what changes you need to do. Here I just want to change the replica. Okay, for the demo purpose, I just mentioned for dev environment I want the replica 1, but for test environment, if you see, it is for 2, and for prod it is, I just mentioned for prod it is 3. Okay, so what it will do, it will just update the base deployment with these changes, whatever we mentioned in the overlays environment YAML files. Okay, and also we have to mention also we have to keep a customization YAML where we have to mention what patch we are doing here. For example, here I'm using deployment hyphen patch YAML file. Okay, so I have my changes here, and that need to be updated in the base folder. Okay, so it will check in base folder what changes you need to do in the deployment YAML file. Okay, this way it will update. Okay, and so that is done for all, you can see here. Okay, and also for example, if you go to the storefront here, I have in the customization, I have mentioned the image also. If you want to change a particular value, that also you can do here by mentioning that value, what changes you need to do. Here I just mentioned like the image name that I want to change with the new tag. Okay, but I kept it v1 for the for the first time. Then later we'll see, I'll change it to v2, and then we will check how it will be deployed with a modified tag. Okay, so Yeah, so this is this is a structure, so that is created for all of these services. So for each services we have now base and overlays folder. So base folder is it contains the manifest files, and the overlays contains the environment specific folders, and under that what changes we need for those YAML files that we need to mention. Okay, and those files will be get updated with the base manifest file. Okay, so this way it will create it will generate the latest or updated manifest file for that particular environment. Okay, so how we can check? So we have commands here. If you go to here, I have already created these commands here. So if you want to review, right, whether our latest or the updated YAML file is YAML, I mean the manifest file is created for that particular environment or not, then you can check. For example, if you want to see this command, I want to review this. Okay, so in order to review this whether um, it is the changes are reflected or not, then you can see here my replica shows 3. Okay, and the command what I have used here, so I have used kubectl customize the manifest storefront. Okay, storefront uh, overlays prod. So if you see storefront prod, and here if you see my patch, it contains 3 here replica. So I want 3 replica for the prod environment. Okay, so if I'll review using this command, then you can see it generate the manifest file. It include both. Here we have the, because in the customization, in this base customization we have mentioned not this one, base, we have mentioned service and deployment. That's why it shows the service as well as deployment. So any changes to the service or the deployment, it will show here. So and in customization I have mentioned sorry, in patch I have mentioned 3. Okay, and in customization also this is v1. Okay, so if you see here it shows v1, right? Now let me check, let change it to v, save it v2, then let me rerun this one. We can see here it's taking v2 here. Okay, so this way it will just update the manifest file depending upon the respective environment manifest file, whatever we have changed, or what cost in the customization what we have mentioned here. Okay, so let it make one it now, because we want to deploy fast the version v1. Okay, now so our, now we observe, I mean this is done for all the environments here, and we can see, we can review whether everything is working. I mean it is updating, providing the or generating the updated manifest file. So you can use this commands here. This is for prod environment, this is for test, and this is for dev environment. And here if you see here, I have not used any overlays here for the config, because I want to keep the configuration same for all the environment. Okay, for that reason I have not created any overlays folder for this config manifest file. Okay, yeah, so this way you can just review your YAMLs. Then you can use this command as well. This is nothing, customize build command. This will also work similar to this. Okay, this way you can do it. And in order to apply these patches, we can use this kubectl apply -k. K is nothing, it's customized, and we have to mention the path. Okay, which one we want to, suppose over, we want to deploy the rabbit message queue of the dev environment, or order for the dev environment. Similarly for like this order for test environment, and here we are mentioning the namespaces. Okay, because we are segregating, I mean the services will be deployed into different namespaces. Okay, okay, yeah, so let me just run this. Okay, to first deploy into the dev environment. So in order to run this, let me execute all this all together at a time. Okay, copy it. Yeah, you can see it is created. Now if I'll do get pod from namespace dev, you can see it is created only one instance or one replica for each of the pod it created, because in our each of the dev environment, if you see, right, patch, I have mentioned one. Now if I'll run this test environment commands, so if we check after this deployment, so that then it will should show 2 replicas for each of the pod. Okay, okay, okay. kubectl get pod namespace test. Now you can see 2 replicas are there for each of the this one, because here if you see in my test, right, I have mentioned 2 replicas, so it is replacing the base deployment, okay, with this. Similarly, if I run this one for prod, it should create 3 replica for each of the environment. Okay, now let's browse the application. Now how we can do is get get service minus n, any namespace we can take and we can check also prod. Okay, sorry. Okay, my public IP is this :80. Let me just type code. You can see this is my controls application, it shows here. And if you see here, application front end index, this shows controls, right? Now let create a new version of this. Just make WEL welcome controls or something. Let me save it. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll create an image for this. So in order to create a new image for this, what I have to do is I have to build this and again run that. So I have to go to storefront and I'll again build this image. My system very slow, it doesn't work. Okay, let me build this image again, because we have done, I have said. Okay, so what we want to check here, that once it deployed, let me, I think I have not saved or not. Maybe let me run it, build it one more time. Okay, so what we have to do, in the storefront, for example, prod environment, let me make this customization. I have to use version v2. Okay, we'll create a version for this. Okay, now what I have to do is, okay, so now I have to again tag it with, it is created the version. Now I have to tag with the version 2, and also I propose it as a version 2 here. Okay, let me tag this as version 2. Let me push it again to the SCR. It's pushing. Then you can see here, if you go and storefront, and you can see v2, it came. Okay, so we have another version. Now what we can do, we have already updated this product, right? Customization as 3. Okay, now save this. Now let me check, let's see whether our the manifest got changed or not. That we need to check, right? How we can see, we can use this one. Okay, let me review this first. Okay, it is reflecting, it is taking the version or not. Okay, so you can see it's taking version 2 here. Okay, and replica is 3. Okay, now let me again run this, apply this. Okay, so how I'll apply, we can apply using this. Let me apply this. Okay, it's done. Then if you go to get sbc minus sbc for service, then prod. Okay, now this, because we have changed the product version 2 in prod environment, and let call it call you can see here it shows now welcome, right? Welcome. Okay, so that means what we learn here is using kustomize how we can um, configure different environments. I mean, how can do a customization deployment for the environment. We can change the replicas. Also, we can change the node. I mean the um, type of the um, node port also. Like it may be your node port, your cluster IP, or it may be load balancer. Okay, so that also you can change in your service.yaml file. Okay, so yeah, that's all about this. So before this, we can also clean this resources. Okay, so that's all about today. In our future lab, we're going to learn how to use GitOps. And till then, thank you. Bye bye.